Well, hello and welcome people of the internet back to some more yet another Zombie Survivors. Today, what we're planning to do is not necessarily build around a team that is built around synergies, although there are a couple synergies here, mostly coming from the Huntress, or actually exclusively coming from the Huntress. But today we're going to be playing kind of a kinetic damage type team. So we're going to be playing with Swat, Tank, and Huntress, or at least that's the goal, we should say. Now, the only synergies here are going to be with Arrow Rain. Now it drops an additional bomb, or drops additionally a bomb, not that it did before. And with Swat, Zombie Decoy now spawns twice the amount of grenades. Overall, these synergies aren't exactly the best when it comes to what synergies we have available, but unfortunately, Tank doesn't have synergies with these characters, and neither does Swat. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. Most of our damage, or at least, you know, it's going to be coming from kinetic damage, right? Swat has a lot of kinetic style abilities. Mostly, I want to work around these automatic turrets. The turrets are really good to me, and if we can get his ability cooldown down or his duration up, we can have multiple activations of the provocation turrets, which it spawns 3 turrets, but if we can get multiple procs of it, then we can have 6. Doubtful we can get up to 9, but having 6 turrets that are also taking advantage of our kinetic damage is really going to be powerful. And then having Tank here with the minigun, that's a lot of bullets coming out, a lot of damage. We're of course getting Fury Unleashed, which is going to be great since all of our basic attacks are doing kinetic damage. The faster we attack, the more damage that comes out. We also have some taunting minefields down here, and of course we have Huntress, who we are going to be doing a bit of explosive damage. The intent is to get up to explosive arrows. But we also have another taunt here in Zombie Decoy. And what was the other thing about her? There was something else about her, but I don't remember. I guess the Arrow Rain, is that what I was going for? I don't remember. She's just kind of here, honestly. So we're going to start out with Swat here. Going to Isolated City, playing on Endless. I'm taking out, so I haven't figured out fully what I want to take out. We are taking the Gunner Badge for the extra kinetic damage. We're going to be taking Weapon Cooldown Reduction and Ability Cooldown Reduction. It's one of these. I think I'm going to take out, because we're going for more basic attack here with kinetic damage, I think I'm going to take out the health points and armor, which seems wrong. But I want to go for ability, area, and duration. So area is not necessarily going to help out our turrets, but is going to help out in duration so that we can overlap those. Ability area is going to help out the Huntress a bit. Her abilities overall are not great for damage, especially compared to Swat or Tank, but having the additional area will help out with things like her Arrow Rain, which isn't always the most accurate, but if we can increase the area of that, there is a better chance that it hits what we want. We're definitely not doing difficulty 3. Difficulty 3 is freaking tough, man. Difficulty 2 is pretty tough as well, but I'm a bit more consistent here. 3 is really tough to get a run going, so we're going here. Yeah, and let's get her started. Also, having the additional, ability area is going to help with Tank, help with those mines, hit a little bit further. And of course, increasing like the helicopter's range. The helicopter's range overall is kind of fine, but if we can widen the, the stretch of how far it hits, we can hit a few more enemies with that too. So that's the overall goal today and what we're trying to achieve. But ultimately, this is literally like the worst 3. Unfortunate, man. I really don't want to use my rerolls right now. I think the best one here is just going to take the grenade trail, honestly. I do want to save my rerolls to obviously try and hit the heroes, the survivors we need. But yeah, literally I would have taken pistol or turret. Turret would have been the better one to start with. The one downside, or I mean a big downside to this build, while it does do a lot of damage, it is not very defensive. Especially compared to the last video where, we got up to 1,000 healing a second. That's one of the things in this new build of the game that I found is kind of lackluster. They reduced a lot of the healing over time effects to quite a significant margin, and it really kind of leads you down this path where you kind of almost need the medic. Now, to be fair, the synergy with Tank, I think, might be broken. That's kind of one of the things we talked about in the last episode. And a lot of her healing over time was basically nerfed, right? She doesn't have nearly as much healing over time as she used to. Obviously, there's the medical drone, but the medical drone is pretty bad. There we go. So we've already finished our turrets, which is great. At this point, I'm kind of just wandering around here. I don't have any need to rush to a first hero and kind of dilute the move pool. So I'm kind of just going until we can get the SMG. And then from there, I'll go ahead and grab the SOS. But yeah, ever since they reduced the meta progression for health regen, you know, there hasn't been really a consistent way to play defensively, and maybe that's what they want. Maybe they're intending for basically you to not survive for, you know, an hour, right? We survived for, well, I'll let you watch the video, but we survived for quite a long time in the last video. Now, of course, based on the builds that we're building here in this endless mode, you know, I've been able to survive for roughly, you know, in the 20 to 30 minute mark fairly consistently. And, you know, that may be what they're intending to go for, and any further than that, it starts getting a bit more difficult. Let's go grenade trail here. Okay, there's the Huntress. Ideally, let's see. Okay, I was going to say, ideally, I would take Tank first, because I want to spend more time leveling up Tank's abilities than I do Huntress. Huntress abilities, we don't really need leveled up that much. Tanks, I have much more need to get evolutions there. So ideally, I want to get Tank first. So here, there's nothing that I really... I'm actually going to re-roll these once or twice to see... Weapon crit chance, but I'm going to go for ability cooldown reduction. And here, rather than going SWAT, I'm actually going to go with Tank here to start. I want to get it so that Fury Unleashed basically overlaps itself, so we can keep that up almost 100% of the time. You know, if it's 95% of the time, that's fine, but I want to keep it up as much as possible. And so either getting ability duration or, and I'm going to get Saw Blade Drone here, because Saw Blade Drone does insane damage, especially when it evolves. So we'll get Fury Unleashed here. We'll start building that. I'm going to work... I think I'm going to work on getting his shotgun up to minigun. I think that's a little bit more important, I found in past runs with this team, over rushing to assault rifle. Okay, here we're going to take duct tape. We have a lot of good options here. I'm actually going to lock in the Scouter here. Scouter is definitely something I want to pick up. Ring of Power, man, you know what? I might actually lock this Ring of Power because it's so early. Because 50% extra damage is, I mean, it's a lot. So, yeah, since we can only lock one, I'm going to lock the Ring of Powder. The Ring of Powder. Scouter would be good, but we're going to take Duct Tape here for the extra XP. Obviously, we get some dodge chance too, which is really nice, but mostly just looking for that XP to kind of force these high-level evolutions as fast as possible. Okay, definitely going to go... I'm not going to get level 4 here because I don't want to take the evolution next time. I'm working more so on Saw Blade Drone. That one's much more important to get evolved. Yeah, so you can already see with SWAT, our abilities are starting to overlap here. Now we have 6 turrets up, and we can just kind of lock down an area. All right, let's go ahead, yeah, and see. So we're getting this kinetic up. Obviously, it's going to go much higher than this, but 28% chance to injure, and they deal less damage while they're injured, and 153% extra damage, or 153% damage modifier, I should say, not extra damage. It's technically 53% extra damage. Let me just clarify. All right, let's grab military point. And we'll keep going. Saw Blade Drone. Now, if another SOS shows up in the next, like, minute or two, I'm actually going to consider liberating and waiting a little bit longer to get Huntress, mostly because I do, again, the SWAT and tank abilities are the ones that I really want to evolve. Huntress is just kind of like there. Ooh, ability duration? Yes. So let's get that on SWAT. Yeah, so like this SOS I'm actually going to pass up on. And we're going to take the free levels here. And we'll get the Fury Unleashed. Sweet. We have enough damage just from these two that we can last another couple minutes. Cooperation is great. That's the one that we want. Okay, so let's take a look at tank here. Let's toggle these. Why is that not toggling? Oh, because I'm doing items. I'm not doing, military points. Okay, so we'll take Ring of Power here. Fortunately, it's like a few seconds late. I would have liked that like 10 seconds ago. There we go. So now we can take a look. I want to take a look at where we're at. Oh, the toggle is just not working. At least E isn't working. So if we take a look here, as far as, let's see, duration 1735. I don't think this is showing properly. So if we look at, for example, like I think if we look at SWAT here, yeah, so you can see here that this tooltip is showing the modifiers that we have. So the duration is actually 34 seconds, not 23, and the cooldown is only 14. So we're getting 3 stacks overlapping of this, right? So it casts once, waits basically 15 seconds, casts again, lasts another 15 seconds. That brings you to 30 seconds or just under. It's technically what, 29.92. Casts it again and then waits another 6 seconds. So there's 3 stacks of turrets going off. So unfortunately, we can't see it here, so we kind of have to just go by what it's showing as a tooltip above our character. I'm going to start working on shotgun here, trying to get that up to the minigun, since there's nothing else really that I'm too anxious to take there. I've tried Ricochet. Ricochet is fine. It does, I mean, it does help with damage a bit, but overall, it's one of those that I will wait until last to level up. I'm going to work on Minefield here above any of the other things. That way we can get up and get some additional taunts down. Yeah, so let's keep an eye on this buff. So it's just about to run off, and then... Oh, okay, so we're set. It's basically up 100% of the time. Which makes sense. Before I took the... what was it? It was the second... It was the new engineer badge that I took, which was, what, ability duration, I think? There was only a couple seconds between it deactivating and activating, so that makes sense, having the duration a little bit longer, that now it's basically going to be up 100% of the time, which is quite nice because now we can just start stacking ability duration and cooldown reduction into SWAT and pump up the turrets. Let's go ahead and get the shotgun here, try and level up next time to the pump action shotgun. Nothing here. Okay, so I'm just gonna go... I think I'm gonna go Grenade Trail. Actually, I'm just gonna banish the enchant. I know I don't want this one. We'll get the pump action shotgun. Ability... Ooh, do I want ability crit chance? Yeah, let's get the ability crit chance. Put that on SWAT. With potentially 9 turrets up at a time, that's a lot of potential there for crit chance. Okay, what do we got here? I think I'm going to take the... do I take the boxing gloves or do I just re-roll this? I think I'm just going to re-roll this. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this oil canister, re-roll this. Yeah, so this is kind of what I'm looking for. I want the slingshot, right? Because we have a pretty good chance at applying injure. And once they're injured, we have more crit chance, more crit damage. It's also going to give us +2 to the tag bonus. So we're going to take slingshot here. And let's take the cogwheels, which in my experience has been one of the highest damage dealing or highest DPS skills in the game. It's just, I'm surprised by just adding a second layer of buzzsaws. Like, it just got very powerful and is just one of the abilities that I always want to have active on me. Okay, let's keep getting to the minigun is going to be more important than getting to the assault rifle, so we'll focus on that. Now I think we're about getting to that time that I'm okay getting a huntress. I'm just gonna hang out where all my turrets are here for a minute. No need to run away just yet. Yeah, I don't want shrapnel. I want the other one. I want domino. So we're gonna keep going with minefield. Try and work those up. And if bow comes up, I obviously want to work up the bow at least to the multi-shot, if not even for... Well, eventually we'll get up to explosive shot, but we definitely want to get up to multi-shot here. Question is, do I want one level zombie decoy first? I think I do. I think I'm going to take the one because the question is like, you know, do I take, you know, do I take one now? Do I take it when bow's at 3? Like, I'm just going to take it now because eventually I'm going to want one. I mean, obviously we're going to want to work up everything we have, right? Crit damage, weapon attack speed, ability area. Let's get ability... I think let's get attack speed. I think I'm going to put it on Swat to help out, because once we get to the assault rifle, his attack starts to slow down a bit. Okay, here I think I am going to take the boxing gloves. I do like the pickup pick, but I think doing extra damage to bosses is going to be pretty strong. Wow, this is just pretty bad option. I'm just going to work on the zombie decoy just because the others I'm not in any rush to level up and evolve. Zombie decoy is, I mean, it's fine to level up. His evolutions are not all that great. Okay, there's the domino. We'll take that before upgrading minefield just to get the 2 evolutions out of the upgrade pool. Here, we'll go, yep, pump action shotgun. 2 more levels up until we get the minigun. And we'll just hang out with all my buddies. There's an SOS. Nice little level up. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, I guess we'll take Arrow Rain. That is one of our synergy abilities. Okay, I'm going to start getting Helicopter Strike up here as well. Start diversifying our damage a little bit. Ooh, ability damage. Yeah, put that on Swat. Power Glove. Heck yeah. Just double checking over here. Yeah, nothing. We're taking Power Glove for sure. For sure. Let's go grab this magnet. And we're going to start leveling bow up, trying to get to... Okay, we'll take minefield. We got a military point I got to make my way up to. You're taking me away from home base, though, game. Now, if we get any ability area, I will likely give that to Huntress. Now, something I've been reading about on Discord and some of the comment sections of other people who are playing this game is that it does seem like there might be a bug where the synergy with one of the Arrow Rain evolutions and ability area doesn't work properly. But I guess we'll try it out when we get there. Okay, over. I was gonna take bow, but we're definitely, you know, I saw pump action shotgun last. We're definitely taking that, so that way we can get up to minigun. And here we'll go for, you know, bow. Just got to get that up to that multi-shot effect, right? It's basically going to become our shotgun. So once we lose the kind of area of effect blast of the shotgun, we can kind of replace that with the multi-shot. Here... Do I care about any of these? Not particularly. I guess we'll take Wrench, ability air increases for pickup range. I mean, our pickup range is still not great, but it gives us 10% ability area. I guess Pocket Watch is maybe a bit better, or even potentially Rock. Actually, I'm going to take Rock and Roll here. Could help us get to what we need. Oh, weapon cooldown reduction. Okay, let's go ahead and pop that on probably tank. I think that one's going to be better on tank. Okay, let's go minefield because I want to get those taunts. And then that's another thing that we can get out of the upgrade pool. There we go. Minefield taunt. Perfect. Grab the military point. Okay, here I'm going to go... I'm actually going to get Bombing Strike. Let's get this working up again. Start to diversify our damage a little bit. Getting the extra explosion points will obviously also get us up to that 10 explosion tags, which will help us increase the radius of our explosive damage. Although I don't know how close we are to that. I'm guessing we're probably... Let's see. So mine is at 5. And I'm assuming grenades get there as well, which we're at, what, 4? 4 on that? 3 on that? So we're probably pretty close to 10 if we haven't hit it already. Yeah, we've already hit it. Okay. So let's go ahead and get bow then. Just want to get up to that multi-shot. So there's the scouter. And I think we're just going to replace the rock and roll. It was very short-lived, but that was kind of its purpose, was to be short-lived. Just in case we needed it, and if not, we can just quickly replace it. There's the minigun. Perfect. Okay, weapon crit, ability cooldown, or ability damage. Let's go cooldown. Damage is good. But I would like to have... There's the multi-shot. Okay, so now we can start working on stuff other than the bow. I just want to have as many turrets up as possible. Just have as many bullets firing in different directions as possible. Here we go. So let's get helicopter strike up. Now we can start working on getting him up to assault rifle. I'm pretty curious if anybody has found a real need to play the sniper rifle. It seems to... Like, I get what they're going for in that it's supposed to be high power to defeat bosses, but bosses just kind of melt anyway if you build your team correctly. I don't know. I guess I haven't tried it yet to see if it's really worth it or not, but I don't know. I feel like you would just always want to go assault rifle. It seems like just having more bullets would synergize with more items, right? A lot of the items that are like the better items are all like, you know, for each crit you do X thing. And so it feels like you'd either just want, like, you need to get absurdly high crit rate since the the sniper fires pretty slow. Ugh. I guess we're going multi-shot here. But I feel like you would just take assault rifle. I don't know. If anyone has a build that they've liked or been successful with that use the sniper rifle, let me know. I don't need any of this. We can skip all this. Gotta reposition. My leg, I was sitting on my leg. My leg was falling asleep. All right, let's go ahead and take the arrow rain here. I mostly want to see if we get the evolution where it can be fired off multiple times, if we can get it to chain. There's the assault rifle. We're going to take that. Okay, weapon crit chance could be pretty decent. It is 10%. Yeah, we're just going to take that. I'm going to give that to... I guess I should give it to tank? Or no. Probably give it to Swat, because Swat's weapon is going to have higher damage, right? Although tank fires more bullets, so there's more of a chance that he gets crits. I don't know. There's a pretty small difference between it, I think. Although I'm not going to sit here and, like, pretend to do the math to figure out. I'm just going to slap it on one and hope it works out, you know? Ain't nobody got time for that math. Although some people do. I always love it when people who are like really into specific games go ahead and build out like entire graphs and spreadsheets of all the different stats and like where soft caps are. And then I just look at them and I'm like, yeah, I'll take advantage of the work you did. We're going to pass upon all of these. Yeah, enemies are starting to hit pretty hard. This is where we start getting into danger zone, right? Without having a lot of defense. Because just taking one or two hits can really put a damper in our health pool. And without any kind of, like, I mean, significant health regen, it's pretty tough. So, here we go. So, Arrow Rain can now occur multiple times, +1 for every 10% of ability duration stat. So, if we look at her ability duration... ability duration 129%, right? So now I'm assuming this is additional ability duration, so we would expect this to do 3 different attacks, right? Because I'm assuming it has to be up, or you have to hit that next threshold. So 129 is still in the 20s, because otherwise this is not doing, I can guarantee you, this is not doing 12 different attacks. So we can probably expect to see 3 different attacks, or that's how I would expect this to work. Unless this is having a chance to do multiple attacks, but that's not exactly what the attack says. So we could see 2 there. I'm assuming the 3rd went off camera. Cooldown reduction. So there's the ability duration. So we can go ahead and give that to Huntress now. So there's at least 3. We did see 3, so it does look like it is working as intended, both as intended and how we would expect. Yeah, so the wording there is a little weird. It should say it should have a modifier there that says like anything above 100%. Let's go for bombing strikes. Here we'll start working on getting the minigun up. Go helicopter. Want to get the evolution there, so that way it attacks on us. And it's not kind of random where it's firing off. Can make it a little bit more consistent. You know, we are getting to a point where the sound effects, we've kind of already been in that point for a while, but we're going to do a little bit of adjustment to that. Oh, did we get an item drop? Yeah, we got an item drop. Okay, let's go ahead and pick that up. Mod chip is one that I do like taking. And I think I'm going to replace the boxing glove. Oh, get out of there. That was, yeah. Saw that too late. Okay, if we go, let's see, ability duration. That is going to take us above the threshold. So I think this is probably the last I'm going to take ability duration on her. Let's start working on the multi-shot. We can work on getting those up to the explosive arrows. Okay, yeah, I'm going to keep working on multi-shot, getting that up above the others. Okay, yeah, we could take the chemtrail, but we don't really have anything to increase that. So what I'm going to be looking for is the one that attacks on us. Like I said, we are going to take the explosive arrows. Okay, what do we get from here? Anything? No, nothing that I'm looking for. We could, I mean, things die so fast, we don't need the 9-inch nails. Gonna get the minigun up. Oh, yeah, that's some big damage. That's some big damage incoming. Yeah, we're starting to get into danger. I mean, we were in danger zone for a little bit, but we're diving deeper into the danger zone. Okay, let's max out the minigun. Then we don't have to worry about it anymore. We just have it fully upgraded. Ability crit damage, weapon damage, ability crit chance. Let's get the weapon damage up on the tank, I think. Okay, there's the gunner. We'll take that. I'm literally just going to sit here in my protective pod turrets here for a minute. Just build up some experience. We do have military point up here we can pick up. Okay, let's get the bombing strike leveled up. Ow. Oh my god, that was a lot of damage. That was a lot of damage. Okay, let's see if we can't find some hearts here to heal up. And then make our way back to the safe haven. Is there anything I want to lose for homing pigeon? Not really. We could lose the duct tape. No, I think I want the duct tape still. Okay, okay, okay. Let's get... I guess we'll work on the zombie decoy. Once we evolve it, it will walk away from us and just, I guess, protect us a little bit. It's not, like, that great, but I think it's better than the other options that we had here. Although maybe it was just better to upgrade the explosive shot. Let's get bombing strike up. Is there, really quick, I want to take a look here, because I haven't changed this at all. Yeah, I was going to see if there's any opacity options. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. That's a bummer. A lot of these explosions and effects are starting to kind of clog up my vision here. So I was going to see if I could turn it down, but it doesn't look like there's an option for that. That option may be tied to like detail level. Maybe if I turn that all the way down, but I'm at a point here where I don't really want to be playing with that, turning it off and on, entering in and out of menus, starting and pausing the game over and over again. That's just going to get us killed. Okay, I think now I'm going to go for... I think now I can afford to start going for Ricochet. Ability duration. Yeah, we can start giving this to... or keep working on giving that to Swat. Just get our turrets up for even longer. Do have to kind of find my way to a health pack, though. And in doing that, that is going to get me stuck against the wall, which I don't want to be in that situation. So let's make our way up to this heart. Okay, nothing here. I kind of wish there was an option. I think what would be nice, you'd have to balance it, right? So I'm not going to insinuate the fact that I know exactly how this should be balanced. I'm just kind of throwing the idea out there. I think once you get your 6 items, there should be an option. Maybe you add like a 5th option, or maybe one of the options becomes this. But I feel like there should be an option for something else other than items, because supply crates are going to keep dropping for me. And at this point, I'm kind of okay with how my build is set up here. I don't know what you do. Maybe you could just do a money drop. So it would be another way of just kind of increasing how fast you could upgrade your meta progression. No, I don't necessarily... don't know which of these I prefer. I kind of don't really care, to be completely honest. Right? Because this does electric damage now, but that doesn't really matter. It's not increasing the damage at all. Same thing with this. I mean, obviously you're doing one massive hit, but I'm not really crazy about this weapon all that much. So it's kind of odd, because if I leave it, it's going to leave these just 2 dead abilities in here. But I kind of want to work on Ricochet and leveling that up. So I think I'm just going to live with it. But I don't know. I feel like they could add something to, once you've selected all your items, give you the option where if you... Of course, it's going to keep happening. Okay, so we're going to take the moving decoy here, just that way he kind of moves away from us and maybe gives us, you know, an extra second or 2 of reprieve. But yeah, giving some kind of options for when you're all set with your items, and if you keep getting supply drops. I definitely don't think that they should turn off, right? Especially given the fact that, okay, I'm literally just taking supercharge here just so that way it stops doing what it's doing. Obviously I don't want them to stop dropping supply drops, right? Because very often I'll end up taking an upgrade that I don't necessarily want. I just don't want to spend a reroll on anything. Let's go for ability damage. But there becomes a point, especially on Endless. I don't think it's necessarily a thing on the default gaming styles, but on Endless, where it goes a little bit longer, you do end up in situations where you don't really want anything. And so I think it could be pretty beneficial to have that extra option of maybe just, you know, give you like 2,000 bucks. You know, it doesn't have to be, it obviously doesn't have to be a full level, right? I'm not talking about giving you like 10 grand or anything, but like 2,500 bucks, you know, something that once you start getting to a higher level, not necessarily implying that I am higher level. I don't really know what is considered higher level right now. But just something to help you out, you know, like a third of a level, a third of a meta progression point or something like that, I think could be pretty nice. Right, like I'm not expecting to find anything here. Yeah. But I am starting to feel like our time is running short. There have been a couple moments here that I've felt a little bit surrounded, and typically when that happens, you know, we're getting close to the potential of, yeah, see, like right there, that was a crap ton of damage all at the same time. Okay, gotta be careful. This is the direction I don't like walking. It's much harder to see going this way. Ah, there we go. That's the end. 33:19. Not too bad. I'm actually surprised with how long we did last. I actually didn't think it was gonna last quite that long, but overall, not too bad. So yeah, automatic turrets doing a bunch of damage, 6,800 DPS compared to the saw blades, which are actually pretty low this time around. Not too surprising. You know, we had a massive damage increase, 263% damage with kinetic damage. That's quite a big increase right there. So yeah, minigun doing quite a bit of damage, but not really surprised to see automatic turret. You know, you get 9 of these things set up and they're just gonna wreak absolute havoc. Overall, you know, Ricochet, yeah, you know, we take that last. It's not one of those ones we really want to go to. And you can see with Huntress, you know, obviously we did take her last, but overall her damage is just kind of paling in comparison to the other two. How long? So we only had her up for 8 minutes. Well, actually, that's not true because we had multi-shot and explosive shot. It always throws me off the way that they show off the weapons, right? Because so if you take a look here at like the saw blade drone, technically, even though the evolution is a different version of the ability, it always screws me up the fact that weapons, while they are of the same weapon line, it shows those separately, but it doesn't show the saw blade drone versus the evolution of the item, which I guess makes sense because to me the shotgun to pump action shotgun feels like it's an evolution. It's just the way it feels. I understand why they're doing it the way they are, but I always just get that confused. Yeah, so, you know, Huntress is probably, you know, not the strongest character to work in this Kinetic build. But that being said, it's like, who else would you do? Obviously, you're not going to take Pyro. Medic is only kinetic for a small while. Ghost doesn't have any kinetic damage, I don't think. And neither does, yeah, so these are really the only 3 that you can run on a kinetic-based team. Obviously, I'm saying so if you want to literally go kinetic, kinetic, kinetic. Obviously, these 2 are definitely the strongest to go kinetic, and then probably the best way to do this would be just to put medic in. But again, I have a huge hunch that the interaction between the medic synergy with the tank and Fury Unleashed is a bug, so it's probably not going to stick around in the game. So if that is the case and that's not going to be there, then likely probably Engineer is probably going to be the best way to build out this team, I would have to guess, because if we take a look at the Engineer, that was originally who I was going to build with over... I think it was over Tank. I don't think I was going to play Tank. I was going to play Swat and Huntress. But if we take a look at the synergies here, I think Engineers synergizes with both them, right? Synergizes with Huntress, at least, dropping a Frost Arrow. And then Huntress synergizes with SWAT, and then SWAT synergizes with Engineer. Yeah, so they all kind of synergize with each other. And that's kind of how I start to walk through these builds, is I pick whatever character I want to start with, right? So let's say Engineer. Then I'll walk through and be like, okay, which one of these? Let's say I want to play with Ghost. Okay, so then let's go to Ghost. Who do you synergize with? Well, I'm already playing with Engineers, so then we play with Medic. So then let's take a look at Medic. Oh, you also have Ghost. So that's kind of how I walk through the teams, at least for synergy builds. You know, obviously there's going to be different ways to build these, but that's kind of how I've been doing it. But yeah, so Kinetic build. Kinetic build is quite fun. You know, I like all the turrets. With this team, there's a lot of taunting going on, but just like with any other team, except for, again, with Tank and Medic, which, again, I don't think is intended, there's not a lot of sustain in the game right now. It's really just the health drops. I do feel like, and I've heard hopes from other players as well, that they go back to buffing health regen. There is extra regen when it comes to the badges, but it does kind of feel bad to lose out on one of those badges for health regen. Obviously, like, that's just a part of the game, right? You need to lose a little bit of damage if you want that health regen, or else you can just take more damage. But it's one of those things where I think had the game started like this without... Because I think in the old version, you could get up to 25 healing per second, I think what it was for medical progression. So it's kind of one of the things where if the game had started like this, I don't think anyone would really have a problem with it, but it's because we had the tool and then we got it taken away that we're kind of reaching back into those old days, trying to get the old version of that health regen. So I think that is likely a strong reason why we haven't kind of adjusted to this new version of the game yet. But that being said, I do really like the Kinetic team. I think that SWAT and Tank are two of the characters that I most want to evolve their skills. The others being Ghost and Engineer. I think those are kind of my four. Ultimately, I mean, I was gonna say like those are the strongest characters. Well, that's over half the roster. But I do think that overall, I mean, Pyro I haven't played with basically at all. I've tried him a little bit. I just don't think he's all that exciting, to be completely frank. Medic is kind of cool. I like her stim pack. Her resuscitation I don't think actually works right now. I think that that's bugged. I have bought it several times and never been revived. But she's good for freeze, definitely good for freeze, and we saw with Huntress's damage, not that strong. So overall, I'm kind of leaning into SWAT, Tank, Engineer, and Ghost being the best out of those four. I don't really know yet how I feel about who's the strongest. My inclination is to say right now, probably Ghost and Tank are the two best characters in the game, with Engineer following up right behind, and likely SWAT after that, although I'm not sure between... SWAT is definitely better to start with. Engineer, his weapons I've just had a little bit more trouble recently in playing with, but his abilities I think are overall maybe a bit stronger than SWAT. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for sticking around and checking out this video. If you did enjoy what you saw, you had some fun, would you kindly smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more roguelike action. And guys, that's going to do it for me. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.